Hi everyone, this is Diane. I just have a small flea market haul to share with you today, and then we're going to talk about the next journal project, and hopefully I'll do a little bit of work in my glue book. So let's just get into the little tiny flea market haul I have today. When I showed you my estate sale haul from last weekend, I told you I thought something was missing, and this is what was missing. They just didn't make it into the room when I was doing my haul video. So on the first day of the estate sale, I had purchased, I think, 4 vintage, like a card table size tablecloths. And the second day, when I went back for the half price sale, I found the matching napkins for 2 of the tablecloths. So I paid $1.50 for all of these napkins. So these are the really pretty vintage bright colored ones, and there were 2 of these. So some of these might end up in my shop. And this is also a gorgeous floral napkin, and there are 4 of these. Isn't that so pretty? What pretty journal covers these would be. So that was from last weekend. I just didn't show them to you. I think there were 4. Yep, 4 of those. Then today I went back to the indoor flea market that's happening every weekend. And my favorite lady and her husband, they weren't there. She's the one I get a lot of paper items from. I noticed the empty space on the floor where they normally were, and I was disappointed, but I did find a couple things from a couple different vendors. So I had purchased 4 of these How to Do It encyclopedias a few weeks ago, and I found this one. He still has a stack of them. They're only $1 each. And either he added this one or I didn't see it the first time, but I liked this cover. I had made a glue book out of this once before. So I'll make some kind of a journal with this one. So I picked that one up. And then from one vendor, this is her last week there, but she is one I see at the Stockyards outdoor flea market once they open up their season, which will be the first Monday in April. We usually don't get a lot of vendors right away there because it's still pretty cold in the mornings. But she'll be there. So she's cleaning up her space and won't be there for the indoor market anymore because she'll be going to the Stockyards, and I don't know what other ones she might go to, but all of these things I purchased from her. So this is a gorgeous little glass and metal box with this picture. I think the artist, I may be wrong, but I think it's Bessie Pease Gutman. And I just think it's such a cute picture. I've seen it before, reproduced many times. The little child is being punished and her collie is suffering along with her. Just standing, or maybe she's just pouting. She's standing in the corner. And I don't know what I'll do with it, but yeah, I was looking to see if the artist's name is on here, but it's not. This is from 1992, so it's not that old, but isn't it adorable? I'll keep something in it, hopefully here in my studio, so I can look at it. This was also in her shop. It's a very rough condition. Parmley Second Reader, Warren Township. I love the end paper and the glue down page. It's dirty, and you could see the spine is gone. The book is falling apart. So I got it for the pages, and it's by Maud Parmley, teacher of primary reading in Newark, New Jersey. So there's an illustration of the elves and the shoemaker. This was printed in 1914. I don't know, maybe that front illustration is the only color one. The rest look like they're black and white. but I like the text. I like the pictures, and I think I'll have a lot of fun using this. This one is sort of in color. Was this one in more color? I think so. Yeah. So it was a good price. It was pretty cheap, so I got it. This is a unique embroidered dresser scarf. And I got it because I love this crochet element, or this lace element, and there are 4 of them, 4 of those circles. So this is one end of the dresser scarf, and the other end is just like it, and the lace around the edge is gorgeous. So this was a good buy. I am familiar enough with this lady, and she knows me, or at least we know each other by, we don't know each other's names, but I know, she knows I'm a customer of hers at the stockyards, and she always has things I like, and I know that if I compile some things, she gives me a great price. She had this marked for $4, but I picked it up thinking I wasn't going to pay $4 for it, and she gave me all of this stuff for $7, so it was a great deal, with the book also. This, I'm not sure. If you can tell me what this is, I would like to know, but it feels like it's silk. It's got a stain there. There's a snap. And I was thinking it opened and it would be a lingerie bag, but it doesn't open. There is this ribbon, so I'm thinking you would loop something over the ribbon. And it looks handmade, definitely. The snaps are hand sewn on. This is hand stitched on. And I really liked this lace element, this lace and ribbon. So I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet. If nothing else, I can remove this element and use it, but I'd like to use this somehow in a journal, and I will hand wash it because it looks a bit dingy, and I bet if I put it in some water with some woolite, the water would turn dirty because it's pretty old. I went to open it and the fabric tore. So it's a nice delicate silk fabric. So if you know what this would have been used for, let me know. I got a couple of vintage, like Victorian cards. This one is creased right there and right there. It says Beth Morse on it. And I don't know what it was advertising. It's a little girl sitting on the back of a chair. She should be tipping over. And a big jar in her hand. She's pointing at the contents of the jar, but there's nothing on the back. This says Beth Potter. But this says Beth Morse. So I don't know. But anyway, it's just a cute card. And she had that marked for 50 cents, and this was marked for $1. So right there is $4.50 if she charged me, you know, what she had it marked. So she always gives me a discount. This is a gorgeous Victorian card with 4 beautiful images, and they all have a Christmas message on them. A lot of times when I see Victorian cards that have this fuzzy trim, this one is coming out right here. This trim is kind of grody looking, but this one isn't too bad. I think it was protected for all these years. But they're really pretty images. And lastly, I got this booklet. She had a stack of these booklets from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Farmer's Bulletin, and some of them were about terracing your farm, preparing your farm for your garden, and stuff like that. But they didn't have a lot of interesting illustrations. Some of them I might have liked, but I didn't know how much she was going to charge. They weren't marked at all. But I liked this one, Fitting Dresses and Blouses. 1927. It's got photographs. So I just thought that was nice. So that was it. That's what I got at the flea market today. So I'm thinking that the next journal project is going to be glue books. Someone had asked me a couple journals ago if I would be making any more glue books, and I said yes, I would. It's been a while since I've made them, so I should probably make some again soon. So I selected some covers. So I'll probably not start in on these immediately because I have other things I need to do, like get some stuff listed in my shop. And maybe some tidying, definitely some tidying, and maybe some ephemera making, I'm not sure, like mass making of ephemera. But these are going to be waiting in the wings. This is one of the Golden Book Encyclopedia book covers that I have. And I like this cover with the starfish and the violin, that pretty beautiful artwork there. I love these covers. They're always so interesting. It's got the purple end papers. So this will be a glue book, and then I'm going to use one of my Bookhouse books from the tower window. Each of these glue books is going to be a different size. Love this picture. And the white cover. This is a really old one, and I was thinking I wanted to make a glue book for myself with this, but my last two glue books that I've made for myself have a very similar coloring to them. And although I love these really old ones with the pretty covers, I need something with a different color. See, this is the one I'm finishing up now. And then I have another one that was a Spanish textbook that I have a lot to do in yet. And it's a very similar color. So I'm going to make this to be a glue book. The interesting thing about this, it's the Popular Compendium of Useful Information and Dictionary of Common Things. It is rough, but I'll do something with that. But the interesting thing about this is it was a salesman's copy, and it had a couple of versions of spine. So I can use one of these to be the spine. So this was not the book. This wasn't the full book, but he would take this into a shop or wherever, or the person's home, and say, you can order this book with all of the contents in it with this spine on it, or possibly it had a different cover which would go with this spine. But this was glued right here, I believe, because it looks like it was glued there. And look at that. It's got ledger. I haven't looked at this in a long time. So yeah, it's got some ledger pages in it. It's got information, 9 great books in one. It's got some really cool illustrations. So I'll keep these pages, and some of them might go into the glue book, but I'll use them for other things also. So I think I will use this spine. It's a nice thick spine, or wide. About 3 inches, so that'll be a good spine for a glue book. So that'll be another glue book, and maybe this could be a bookmark for the glue book. It's thinner than this one, so this would be a great bookmark. I'll just put some paper on the back of it. And lastly, I have this one. I have a lot of circus elements. I don't like to do themes for my glue books as a rule, but I'll include some circus elements into this one because that's just too fun to not. And I have a lot of circus stuff. Look at the back of it. How fun. Of course, they'll all have a thicker spine than what is included on there. So that is 4 glue books that I'll be working on next. So that was a brief video. So I brought my glue book in here with me. thinking that after the video I would just do a little bit of gluing. This is the one I'm going to make for myself because this one is almost full. So I selected another one of the encyclopedias, Golden Book encyclopedias, to make my own glue book. I am not a fan of purple, but I can cover that. So that means I need to get to work on here so I can finish it up and start on a new one. I still haven't cleaned up my table. If you could see on both sides, over here and over here is a bunch of stuff left over from the Peacock journals. But I have my collage materials here. I've been cutting apart the Pioneer Woman magazines that I got from the estate sale. So I have a bunch of pages, images from that, so they're not sorted yet. And I was cutting up other magazines too. That should go in my rainbow section of my color. I think some of these belong with my color glue book. I'll set them aside so I can sort them. But for now, I'm going to select a page and then I'll pick out some images to glue down. See, we're getting to the end here. Okay, let's work on this. The spread has nothing on it. I like that. I think I like that. That's fun. All right, I'm gonna cut around her. Obviously, I'll have to cut the image down. I'll have to eliminate some of this somewhere. But I think this black and white picture would be really nice with those colorful flowers that I just had out. Okay, I'm gonna just cut a bit off there, and there, and there. Okay, I need to cut a little more at the bottom. And that's perfect. This came off the front of a Better Homes and Gardens magazine, which I also got for free from one of the vendors at the indoor flea market. She just had them there to get rid of them. I've gotten a few things from her, both for free, and I've bought some things from her also. Today is March 10th, and the outdoor flea market will open, like I said, the first week of April, so about 3 weeks, I think. They are open on Mondays, and the barn one, the Tioga Downs Barns, that one is weekends, and they open the first weekend in April. I'm not sure how much I want to cut out of this. Do I want to cut out individual flowers? Maybe that would look better, but let's just do this much and see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the flea markets opening. The outdoor one, especially, like I said, won't have a lot of vendors at first. Usually it's just the men that come, but some of them have items that I buy. I have gotten some really good stuff some years on the very first day. But the lady vendors don't usually come till Memorial weekend, and then when the weather's nice, they're there. The men, they don't care. They're there whenever. Some of them were there, a couple of them were there several weeks ago when we had spring-like weather. They don't open up the field for them until the first week of April, but there's a spot near the road that they can set up if they want to, anytime they want to. Well, it's on Mondays, any Monday, and they don't have to pay. So I drove by on my way home from the chiropractor one Monday, and it was a nice day, and there were 2 or 3 guys sitting there with their little tables, and I could tell it was stuff that I wouldn't have wanted, but they're just sitting there chatting with each other, and you know, they probably had guns and stuff like that. So it's a pretty nice arrangement there, and it's not a huge place like flea markets that I have seen on, what's that show that Laura, I forgot her name now. She's on GMA. Anyway, she does a show where people buy stuff at flea markets, and it's like a competition where they purchase stuff and then they transform it. Flea market, something. Anyway, they go to really, really big flea markets. I just carefully cut around all those petals, and I think I'm going to end up cutting them off. Because I think I'm going to put it like that. But it's, so it's not a huge field, but once it's busy, once Memorial weekend and beyond, they can pack a lot of vendors in there, and it's plenty. It's enough for me. If I went to one of those big flea markets that they show on that show, it would take hours, and I probably still wouldn't see everything, and it would probably give me a headache. I like the flea markets that I go to. That's cute. I like that. And I think I want to put something colorful behind her. I just did all that talking about flea markets, so you'd have something to listen to while I did all that cutting. I like that. I just wonder if I could put it upside down because it's got a word on the other. Yeah. I didn't know. It's narrower here, so I didn't know if it would be too skinny if I turned it upside down. See, it says accessories there. But you flip it upside down, and yes, it works. Okay, that's a fun journal glue book page. I have a lot of sorting to do with my glue book ephemera. I've been cutting up magazines, and then I just stick them on the top of the baskets here without sorting them. But I'll get to it. There's always something to do. Cutting, sorting, making ephemera. I want to make some fabric clusters and some fabric flips. I do have some made, but I'd like to get more made. And I need to make some bead dangle parts. Like I said, there's always something. And I don't know what else I'll do to that. I might add a word or a phrase or something there. Let's move on and do something to this page. See if I can find a focal point. Look at that jellyfish. That's cool. I think this came out of a National Geographic, I think. Maybe. Looks like the right size. So I said we had some spring-like weather a few weeks ago, but it's been cold. Since then, we've had some snow, and it's been in the 30s the last week or so. And today it's snowing again. I don't know how much accumulation we'll get. Last I looked, it wasn't even sticking. It was a wet snow that melted on the pavement. But it's supposed to snow for quite a while, so we might get some accumulation. I don't know. I'm holding this close to my face so I can cut around the profile of the robot's face. Didn't do a very good job. I'll have to fine-tune that in a bit. What are you all doing this weekend? I have a list of things I want to do. I wanted to get a lot of it done today, but not making a whole lot of... I'm making progress, but I'm not crossing a lot of things off my list. Alright, so I will have to cut this robot down a bit. And find a background. Glue stick on the floor. Okay. Going through my background papers here. This would look nice with the page opposite it. Yeah, I like it with the yellow. I'm going to trim that part. keep those for something else. I'm going to glue the background down and then see if there's anything else I want to add before I glue the robot. Well, today's Friday, so I have today and tomorrow and Sunday, but I like to limit my lists on Sundays. You gotta have a day of rest, right? I usually end up doing something, but I mean, I go to church in the morning, but you know, I try to get some resting time in there. So I have the rest of today and tomorrow to get some of the work on my list done. Just looking in my little baskets to see what else I might want to add to this page. What do you dream about? That might be a good phrase for either of those pages. I need that for Sundays. Rest is not a sign of weakness. If it's the very thing that makes us strong. I could maybe add this fun flower to that page to go along with that. Maybe. It's a piece of a... I don't know. I was thinking that was a piece of a carpet, but I don't know. It's not from a decorating book. But I like that color there. That looks good. I don't know if I'll use this flower, but I think I'll be able to tell whether I like it better if I notch out in between some of these petals. Still doing good time-wise. I hope that you're crafting along with me. Maybe you got your glue book out. Do you have a glue book? Yeah, that's cute. If you call that little creepy face in the center of that flower cute. Also the creepy robot. So it's quite a contrast between the feel of this image and this very peaceful image, but they look good together, I think, with the colors, and they both look contemplative, if a robot can be contemplative. But I think I like this, and maybe I can split this up between both so we can pretend the robot has dreams too. This is turning out to be a really fun spread. I like that little bit of black and white at the top of that because of the robot being mostly black and white. Oops, it's a little crooked. And it's come together pretty quick. I love getting interesting phrases, especially with this, with a fun font like this one. Not really sure how to cut that out. Just didn't look good with that big empty white space there. Maybe I'll put that there. Just don't want it to be right in front of the face. We'll see how we can make it look better. You can't see me cutting, I know. Every time I get my glue book out, it just makes me so happy. Or any of my glue books. What do you dream about? If I put the word dream over here, it includes this picture with it. So I think I like that. We're looking good. This magazine I got free from the library. So some of the magazines I have, like the uppercase and the Somerset ones, I pay a lot of money for. Those are not cheap magazines, but I make up for it by getting free ones. I can tell myself that. What a fun spread this is. What do you dream about? I love it. And I think I'll call this page pretty much done. If I find something else that feels like it needs to go there, I can add it, but it looks complete to me. And I know we're about out of time. But maybe I'll get started on another one. I'm not going to continue a session once the video is done because I have other things on my list. I like her. Like house cleaning and maybe getting a little bit more done towards getting some things listed in my shop. And what time did that clock just chime? 3 o'clock. She just looks like she's having fun, doesn't she? Enjoying life. I've been thinking about that lately, that I don't really seem to get a lot of joy anymore. And that's my responsibility to find joy. It's not up to other people to bring joy to me. And I have things to be joyful about. I enjoy my family, and I enjoy crafting, but I don't know that I have a joy-filled life, but that's my fault, not anybody else's. It's all in the attitude, right? So this lady is going to remind me to find joy. I like her. I need something contrasting to go behind her. Do I want this person to be in it? Because she doesn't look very joyful. This is in Polish or something. Oh, I have no idea what it says. It's going to be there. It's not going to get cut off. I'll have to, I guess, put that into Google and see what comes up. Oh, wait, I wanted to have her in there. That's why I cut the rough edge off, so I could have her to contrast with the joyful lady. Where'd she go? There we go. Okay. Still the same height, but we won't have the whole phrase on there. Well, now she's covering her up. So, I'm going to have to move this up here. going to use my Fabri-Tac because this is a thicker paper and it's really on a bend there. Oh, I think my son is here. So it is time to end this video anyway. You see where I'm going with this, and I will show you the completed page next time I get my glue book out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you are having a creative day today, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.